So first of all, thank you for this opportunity to giving us the chance to join you in this workshop, and we will do our best to share as much information that it's required. And feel free to ask any questions at the end of the presentation, even if the information is not included on the slides. So the method for the presentation, should I speak and stop to wait for the translation, or should the translation is simultaneously?
Yeah, the translation will be simultaneous. So that you don't wait for the translator, just please go ahead and speak.
Thank you. So first of all, I would like to introduce myself. I'm Ahmed Al-Hajouj from the Inspection Support Department, and I work in the Food Factories Inspection Department. The first thing that I would like to start with is to give a brief introduction for the SFDA. For the SFDA sectors, we have food and drug, medical devices, and operation. So these are the main sectors for SFDA. We go in the operations. We work under the operation section. So the main objective is to assure the safety of food and enhance its wholesomeness throughout the food chain. With the vision to be a leading international science-based regulator to protect and promote public health, and the mission of protecting the community through regulations and effective controls to ensure the safety of food, drugs, medical devices, cosmetics, pesticides, and feed. So the operation sector have the main department is the executive department of inspection support, and then there is a sub-department, factories inspection support department, and the section that I work under is food factories inspection support, which is the head of the head of this section is Salih Hashaib. He's joining us in this meeting. So to import to KSA, we have three main procedures for importation. The first one is the requirements and conditions for importing food to the KSA. And I will explain this in the next slide. The second one is the procedure for approving foreign competent control authorities and establishing interested and in exporting an establishment interested in exporting meat and poultry meat and their products to the KSA. And then the third one is the procedure for imposing and lifting a temporary ban related to the import of meat, poultry, and their products in the kingdom and to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. So the requirements and conditions for importing food to the KSA. This is based on Article 7 of the Food Law in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, and it mainly aims to first clarify the conditions and requirements that the regulatory bodies must fulfill, and verify that the competent authority in the exporting country ensures that those interested establishments comply with the regulation approved by the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. And the third one is ensuring food safety and facilitating the movement of international trade. So the second procedure is approving foreign competent control authorities and establishments. And this aims to verify the procedure carried out by the competent authority in the exporting country. The requirements is the country should not be subject to a temporary ban, so there is no ban on the country. And completing the requirements listed in the questionnaire. So these are the main components of the questionnaire. The first one is information about the organizational legal bodies and the organization in general, organization in detail, qualification of staff, training, food safety rules, food hygiene rules, animal health, plant health, veterinary, medical, biotechnical products, animal ID movement. So lots of information related to the food chain. And by the way, this questionnaire has already been, this procedure has already been finished by Russia, and the competent control authority in Russia is approved and published on our website, together with the approved establishment for each sector: food, meat, honey, and milk products. And I will show you at the end how to access the approved establishment list on our website. So after that, we will go to the self-audit, which is the information required by the establishment. This is required by each establishment if the competent authority is not approved. But in case of Russia, the competent authority is approved, so this self-audit is not mandatory for each establishment. But in general, this is the type of information that we require. The self-audit has the information of the establishment, product, quality assurance, and some questions related to the facility itself, and the verification of the competent authority signature and stamp on the end of the self-audit. So for some products, we require the self-audit, even if the competent authority is approved. So this is mainly how it looks on our website. So if you can see the approved competent authority in Russia, and the mark that says it's approved, and on the list it says the meat products, fish and fishery products, milk and milk products, honey, and other products. So if you click on each one of these, you will find the establishment approved by the SFDA related to each sector of this. And then you will have a PDF file. You just press on the PDF file, and then all the establishment will appear on the screen. So this is the country list, which has the flag of the country. And this is the establishment list. After you click on the PDF, it shows like this. It have this view. So this, for example, is the list for poultry products, and these are the establishments, the city, the region, the activity, the date is listed, and if there are any notes on the establishment, and the status of the establishment. We have 3 status: either active or suspended or delisted. If there is a problem with the establishment, that we have lots of non-conformities, or if the competent authority just asked that this establishment is not interested to export to the KSA. So we just delist it, and we'll keep it on the list with the delisted mark. So for the information of other importers to have. So any products that not come from the establishment listed on the website will be rejected by our ports. So I've spoken, the previous slide was the country list, and this is the establishment list. And then I will come to the certification, which is the topic of our presentation for today. So these three titles, the country, the establishment, and the certification, are the outcomes of the requirement and conditions of the first slide that I have showed. So it's mainly the outcome is the country list, the establishment list, and the certification. So for the certification, we have for each product a specific type of certification. For example, beef, sheep, poultry, fishery products, honey, milk and milk products, eggs and egg products, which falls under the products from animal origin. So you will find it, the egg establishment under the products from animal origin, and fruits and vegetables also, and processed products. So the previous was a brief overview about the system and Saudi Arabia, and now I will go in the certificate in detail to explain each point. And if you have any question on that, you could just write it down and ask at the end of the presentation. So this is an example of the health certificate for red meat, and all the certificates are published on the website, and I will show you at the end also where is it published. So first, this slide, we have the information of the establishment, and you see the consignor name, address, and consignee, the certificate, the reference of the certificate, the country of origin, country of destination. So mainly the basic information about the establishment and the shipment itself. So the mean of transport, the temperature, the type of product. Also, if it's a although if it's a red meat certificate, the type of product should be processed or the type of product that is exported. So now we will go to the health attestations. So each health certificate are divided into 3 sections. The first section was the previous slide, the information about the establishment and the shipment itself. And this section is the health attestation. For mainly, you will find it in all the certificates, and then we will come to the specific attestations related to the red meat on the from the specific country. So this is a general attestations for the health certificate, and this may or may not be included on the Russian certificate, but it's based on the negotiation between the countries. We could have some amendments on specific points, if applicable. So the first one is the meat and meat products are safe and fit for human consumption. So this is a basic point. The second one is the animal have been slaughtered in a slaughterhouse approved and under the supervision of the competent authority of the exporting country and is approved by the Saudi Food and Drug Authority. So the establishment should be approved, and this ensures that the establishment is approved and also falls under the supervision of the competent authority, and the slaughtering was supervised. The third one is the meat product of animals that have been subjected to ante-mortem and post-mortem. So ante-mortem and post-mortem have been taken into place in the establishment and is ensured by the vets assigned by the competent authority or the representative of the competent authority in the local region and the establishment. The next point is the product was handled at an establishment that has been subjected to inspection by competent authority and implements the food safety management system based on HACCP principles and equivalent or an equivalent system. So this points tell us that this establishment has frequent visits from the competent authority and also has a HACCP based program implemented in the establishment or any equivalent quality program that ensures that the same outcomes of the HACCP certificate, HACCP principles. So the next point is good veterinary practices have been applied in the use of veterinary medicines, including growth promoters and agriculture, chemicals in live animals and any residual hormones, antibiotics, pesticides, heavy metals, or any other pollutants in meat and or meat products comply with the specific standard. So this is to ensure that any addition of or availability of these products falls into the MRLs comply with these standards. So the GSO 382, GSO 2481, 1016, and 1193. So the next one is the meat has been derived from healthy animals that have no apparent evidence of any contagious and infectious diseases as listed by the OIE. And the next one is the meat products originate from animals that have not been slaughtered for the purpose of disease eradication or disease control. These 2 points are listed in the OIE. So the meat coming from the animal should not be slaughtered for another purpose from human consumption. So the last point on this slide is the meat has not been derived from animals fed on processed animal protein, excluding fish meal. So this is concerning the animal protein added to the feed of ruminants, excluding fish meal. So fish meal is allowed for ruminants. And this is to ensure that there is no addition of animal protein added to the feeding of ruminants. So the next slide, the first point is meat derived from animals that were born and reared in a country origin and from livestock that were officially registered at the competent authority or of the exporting country. So the animals should be from their born should be under the supervision of the competent authority. So the farm should be registered and follows the competent authority rules. So it can be another competent authority other than the one that it depends on the country, other than the one that controls the slaughterhouses. And so this basically tells us that the farm is registered through the competent authority. So we know from where the animal comes from. The meat has been obtained from animals which have been reared in the specific territory. So this this can or this may or not may not be included in the certificate. It depends on the country. The next point, the meat comes from animals which were not bred, genetically modified, or engineered in a way that does not occur naturally by multiplication or natural recombination. So genetically modified animals are not permitted or are not allowed to KSA. The next point is the meat has been obtained from animals which have been transported from farms and comply with the specific standards. These standards have the methods and the rules to regulate the transportation of the animals. Second, the next point, the carcass or its parts have been marked with the health mark in accordance with this standard, specific standard GSO 996. The meat has been stored and transported in accordance with the GSO 815 and GSO 323 for the storing, regulation, and transportation. The meat has been obtained separate from meat not conforming to the requirements set out in the certificate during all stages of its production, transported. And so the basic point of this, the basic thing about this point is to ensure that the animal was not contaminated with any animals that are not supervised or animals that are not halal. And the verification of the establishment and the representative of the competent authority who signs. So that was an example of the meat certificate, red meat certificate. And this is for fishery, another example for fishery products. So the first slide has the same information of the establishment and the shipment, and then now this type of information, we can find it almost similar to the previous attestations, and we will find the difference in the next slide. So it says basically the products of animal origin are safe and fit for human consumption. The products are derived from non-toxic species that do not cause any signs of disease. So this is specifically for aquatic products. Where aquatic animals are grown in farms or aquaculture production areas, hygiene requirements are under the control of the competent authority of the country of origin. So basically it has the same outcome of the previous point. A supervision is required by the competent authority. The next point is the aquatic animals have been fed from feed that is produced in the compliance with the GMP and HACCP principles or its equivalent and is free from any physical, chemical, or biological contaminants that are prohibited internationally. The next point is the products of aquatic animal origin were handled in an establishment that has been subjected to inspection by the competent authority of the country of origin and implements a food safety management system based on the HACCP principles or an equivalent system. So the establishment should have has a principle-based program or an equivalent if HACCP is not available. The products of aquatic animals has been derived from healthy animals that have not apparent evidence of any contagious and infectious disease listed by the OIE. So no diseases by the from the list that is published on the OIE have for these fishery products. So the aquatic animals which have never been fed with animal protein, including meat, bone meal, greaves, or any other sources prohibited by Islamic Sharia, such as blood and derivatives of porcine. So this is concerning the feeding of the fishery products, the animals. The next point is the aquatic were not bred genetically. So this is basically about the genetically modified products. And to ensure that the products are not genetically modified. The next point is the products of aquatic animals origin have been handled in accordance with the GSO 1694. So it's this standard talks about the method of handling the product. The next point is about the water, including the ice, use, the process or transport. The aquatic animals or its products is not contaminated with the pathogenic agent, comply with technical regulation GSO 149, and the processing prevents cross-contamination of the products of the aquatic animal origin. So this point talked about that the water or the ice used in the transportation of the fishery products comply with the specific standards and has no any contamination from any products or environments that compromise the quality of the products and the safety of the products. The next point, the products of aquatic animal origin satisfies the condition laid down in the technical regulation GSO 1016 on microbiological criteria for foodstuff. So the products should comply with the microbiological criteria. The products of aquatic animals satisfies the condition laid down in the technical regulation GSO 2481 maximum residual limits of veterinary drugs. The product of aquatic animal has been obtained separate from meat, not conforming to the requirements set out in this certificate during all stages of its production, transport, and storage. This is to ensure that the products were separate from any products not either not approved or contaminated with other products, and other products that are not specifically mentioned in the shipment information at the beginning of this certificate. So from this slide, we have almost two or three kind of products. So if it's the fish, it should comply with this, with the first one and the second one, which it mainly talks about the diseases, specific kind of diseases for fish, and all are listed in the OIE. So this is basically from the OIE regulation. And the second point is the standards, that the Saudi standards for each product. So for chilled fish is GSO 380, and frozen fish is GSO 1753, for frozen fish fillets, GSO 1406. So, and the second product is the crustaceans. So if the fish is not, if the shipment does not have fish, so the first point and the second point should be crossed, and then fulfilling this specific point for crustaceans if the shipment has crustaceans. And it's basically on the diseases for the crustaceans. And the third product is mollusks, and it has the same information from the previous points. So basically, the last 3 points, one for fish and one for the other for crustaceans, and the third one for mollusks. So if the products has, or if you have variety of products on the same shipment, you should fulfill all the points. And if it's only fish, you should just cross on the other points and then assign the certificate at the end. So at the last point, it's verification from the person who signed the certificate and the stamp, the official stamp. So basically, that's the end of the veterinary health certificates. So this is the health certificates that we have, and we have a variety of certificates. And I try to explain each point, but the questions are the main aspect of the presentation. So once you have any questions, I will be happy to answer. These are the methods of contact to the SFDA for the international business support, for the international compilation department, for the local companies, and any technical issues. And also we have Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. So this is my information. I'm a veterinarian and work in the food factory inspection section. And thank you very much. So if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer.
Yes, I'm sure there are questions. There should be questions. Just a second. Let me handle this. Okay. Yeah, we have the questions. Here's the first question. The requirements of Saudi Arabia, are they different from the requirements posed by the GCC countries, the countries of the Council of the Gulf? Are there any major differences, or are the rules the same for all GCC member states?
You mean the requirements?
Export requirements.
The one that I have explained at the beginning, or you mean the GSO standards? So the question is related to the GSO.
At the national level, are there any special features in the legislation? Is there anything peculiar to Saudi Arabia, something in the national regulation of exports that we will not find in other GCC countries, like a different allowance of antibiotic content, or maybe you wouldn't accept a particular kind of products under any conditions?
So the answer of this question is mainly they are the same for the GCC countries, the GSO standards. And we have from the SFDA an updated version of specific standards that those standards did not cover specifically. So if one of the MRLs, for example, is not covered in the previous standard or the general standards, it is covered and updated by the SFDA standards. Apart from that, they are mostly the same for the standards. But for the requirements, the procedure for exporting or the procedure for importing may differ from each country.
Спасибо. Вопрос номер 2.
Okay, thank you. Another question then. The representatives of Saudi Arabia, would they come to Russia to inspect Russian exporting establishments? Or a self-audit will be enough, or an audit by Russian competent authorities? Are there any inspections that Saudi Arabia conducts abroad?
Again, can you repeat that question, please?
Are there any So the question is, the representatives of Saudi Arabia, do they travel to foreign farms, to foreign fisheries in order to conduct inspections locally? Or do they trust the competent authorities, or maybe they would even accept the self-audits of the organizations as verified by the competent authorities? Do you carry out international inspections yourselves?
Okay, so the answer of this question, I have answered it in the beginning, but I will explain it briefly in details now. So basically, once the country has an approved competent authority, the main visits are requested by the competent authority, unless we need a follow-up visit for following up the previous outcome of the previous visit. But this does not have any problems with approving or the addition of new establishments. So once the competent authority is approved, the auditing at this point is done by the competent authority, and then we should receive an official letter from the competent authority asking that this specific establishment falls under the regulation of the competent authority, and we are allowing them to export to your country, and we are basically asked to add them to the list. We will study this request and will have it added to the list. So this point is if the competent authority is approved. So this, in case of Russia, it is approved and it's published as I've showed you in the slide. So for the follow-up visit, it's not requested for specific products for general visit. So for mainly, if the previous visit was for meat and poultry and fishery products, we may have visit for milk products and honey establishment, as an example. So if there wasn't any a visit regarding a different product, we may have a visit from our colleague. But this has no problem with approving the product as the establishment, even if the products that didn't have any visit before. Okay. So if you're asking if you're asking about this time for the coronavirus outbreaks, the visits are suspended at this time. So basically, we rely on the competent authority. And if the second point, if the competent authority is not approved, and that it's not the case of Russia, we will ask the establishment the self-audit form to fill the self-audit form, which has the information and specific information of the establishment itself. and we will assess that form once it's received. I hope I have answered the question.
Спасибо. Спасибо.
All right, thank you very much. Yes, we all suffer from the pandemic, from the coronavirus pandemic. But on the other hand, now all these online conferences, video conferences become so popular, and now we can invite listeners from all around Russia. As we have right now, we have people from across the country, from many, many regions, which wouldn't be possible if we had to organize a face-to-face workshop. May I ask another question?
Yes, please.
Следующий вопрос. Какая периодичность проведения исследований и
How often safety and health tests of beef should be? This is the question that we received in the chat. So the question is about beef products that are exported from Russia to Saudi Arabia. How often should they be tested in terms of their safety, in terms of their health?
So if this a question about the testing in the exporting countries, so in Russia, this is based on the competent authority frequent testing, and if the question is related to the import, the import, the port in Saudi Arabia, it has a procedure. So
yes, the test in Saudi Arabia.
Okay. So the test in Saudi Arabia, once they receive the shipment, they have a specific type of a procedure to deal with this products. They have random testing, and it's not done on every shipment. They have a method of every 10 consignments or 15 consignments. I don't have the specification, so you don't quote me on this, but they have a procedure for having a random testing on each on some products from this part. Is that clear?
А что происходит с грузом, если...
And what happens to the shipment if there are some violations, or I don't know, maybe in the documents, or maybe with the quality and safety of the product? Then what happens with the cargo? What happens with the shipment?
Okay, so if there is a missing of documents, I have another presentation regarding the registration of the products. If you just give me one moment, I will pull it up.
Да, конечно.
Absolutely, that would be great.
Коллеги, задавайте вопросы. Когда еще будет шанс услышать живые ответы? С учетом того, что мы можем требовать от предприятий при проведении у них проверок, это тоже важно.
So this is the registration. Basically, this is the aims of the registration to ensure the food and GSA. This is the basic information. I will not go through that. The type of products, So before registration, register with the FSBI as an importer. So the importer should register, comply with relevant food legislation, satisfy the GCC technical labeling requirement, and apply online. This is basically the requirements for the importer in Saudi Arabia. So this is the method of the registration itself. So once the importer registers the specific product, it will have the application system provide requirements. So if the green slide, which is this one, food, this is the application itself. So once it has any missing information, directly it will ask to provide required information, sent to the need more information, rejected. So this is the method of registering the product before the shipment is received itself. Okay, so then we classify if all the information is okay. We classify the type of products, novel food and food products. So if it's approved, post assessment, no action, or undo registration if it's okay. If it's not okay, so it's for the specific novel supplement, product assessment, risk assessment, do all the reviewers confirm, yes, it's approved, not, it's rejected. So this is basically before the shipment is received. So at the point of receiving the shipment, we do a documentary check, identity check, physical check, and lab check. Comply with the consignment with related technical regulation, and release the consignment. If the consignment has a missing document, so if it fails on the documentary check, we either, we do not reject the consignment because of missing information. So the rejection of consignment here is meant if the documents do not match with the product itself. So or the document has some information that is not allowed to the KSA. Now it's rejected based on the documentary check. So it did not move to the identity check. Okay, and then if it's moved to the identity check of the shipment, say for the specific questions, to not just go get loose of the questions. If the product have a missing specific certificate, so it's not included in the shipment, we will hold the shipment and ask for the availability of this missing document. We could allow it as electronically sent, and the shipment is stored in the importer own store. So it's not stopped in the port. So if everything is okay, the competent authority is okay, the product is allowed, and everything is okay, it's just one missing document, say the health certificate, as an example for our presentation. Say the health certificate is not included, we will ask for the health certificate, but we will have it in the store of the importer, and he's not allowed to release the specific product unless this certificate is available. So after we have the document check, we do the identity check and physical examination. The identity check, it's all food items contained in the consignment are in conformity with the accompanying documents. So once we have the documents, no problem, we move the identity check. If they match together, we will have a physical examination, and if there is any test required or lab test required, we based on the procedures, they will have it sent to a lab and to receive the result. And for this, the shipment is not stopped in the port. It will be held in the store of the importer and not allowed to be released unless the result is okay. This is for new products. Not allowed to be released until the result. But if it's a random check, no, the result, the document, the products are allowed to be put on shelves in the market because it's a random check. It's not a new check. So for the lab test, if the food inspector has reasons to believe that a laboratory test is needed for a food item, he may refer it to the authorized lab. Any consignment could be rejected and prevented entry to the Saudi market at any point of the above mentioned stages, which are the documentary, identity, physical, and now the lab test. In addition, if a food item does not require a corrective action or no instance of non-compliance is found, the food item is released on the same day and referred to the customs for final clearance. So these are the type of certificates that should accompany the shipment. So the original invoice, halal certificates if it's a product from animal origin, certificate of halal slaughtering if it's a meat product, so coming from the slaughterhouse directly. The previous one is halal certificates is for products that containing meat. It's not so it's, let's say, for any product containing meat, but the second one, halal slaughtering, is for slaughterhouses as well. Health certificate, this is the topic of our task today. I'm sorry. Yeah. GMO certificates, not for all products. Organic certificate, not for all products, and COC certificate of conformity. This certificate, if we have a third party this is for specific countries. If we have a third party to assess the specific establishment, we should have this. You should have this, the COC certificate accompanying with the documents. I'm sorry, I'm talking too fast. If it's, you can stop me at any time. So that's the end, basically. Is clear, or did I lose connection?
Включила свой звук.
Okay, it's just that I forgot to switch on my microphone. Sorry. Thank you very much. Do you think you could share this presentation with us, the last one?
Yes, I can send it to you to the same email that I have been contacting previously.
Yes, thank you very much. That would be great. And we have one other question.
Yes, please.
Да-да-да, вот второй. Чебан.
Okay, the second question is, it's about sanctions. In case of non-compliance of the importer with the lab requirements. So I'm trying to read and translate at the same time. I'm sorry, just a second. So again, the question is about the importer. Are there any sanctions if the importer is trying to import products that are not compliant with the national regulation? And what happens then for the exporting establishment? If the exporting establishment, say, acted in good faith, would there be any implications for the exporter? I mean, what happens in case of non-compliance?
Okay, to rephrase this question, if I've answered it correctly, so you said The question is related about if there is a problem with the importer and not the establishment itself. So what are the sanctions related to the product? So if this is the question, the answer is we do not deal with the, it's based on the specific problem. So if it was related to the importer, we will have the sanctions related to the importer, and the establishment will not be stopped or have any other rules. So say the establishment exports their products to the Saudi Arabia through 3 or 5 importers, and one importer has a problem and the others do not. So we don't deal with the establishment, and we only stop the importer. This will not be related to the establishment. But if the problem is related to the product itself, so say it's above the not following the MRLs, for example. So this is related to the establishment. It's not for the importer. But if it's a problem with transportation or any other issues related to the importer, the sanctions will be on the importer and not the establishment.
А какие меры принимаются?
And what will you do to the exporter if there are some problems with the transportation or the quality of the products?
So if it's the problem, if the problem with the importer, we will give highlight the problem to the importer and say that you have your products are having this specific problem. If you do not fix it, you will be stopped for.
And the exporter?
You mean
the exporter, the exporting organization, establishment?
In case of what?
If you receive products from a foreign country and these products are not compliant, then what happens with the exporting institution? It will be removed from the list of approved establishments?
No, not directly. We will contact the competent authority first and saying that this specific establishment has these type of problems. Okay, so if the competent authority fixes that problems or of this problem from this exporter, especially if the competent authority is approved in case of Russia. Okay, so if the competent authority is approved, these information and this type of problems will be highlighted to them, saying this specific exporter has these specific problems and try to fix it. Okay, if they do that correctly, then there is no other sanctions will be on the exporter. Okay, apart from the competent authority, how they deal with exporters. But from our side, we do not deal with them. But if the problems reoccur and several times, then we will have to immediately stop the suspend the establishment until the products we receive are fixed. And this specific establishment will have, based on the random test procedures, it will be a procedure for this specific establishment. So each product should have a thoroughly inspection. So these are type of procedures that we carry on.
Понятно, спасибо большое.
Okay, this is clear. Thank you very much.
I don't know why I
What are the mistakes?
I think I have problem with a technical problem. I cannot see the the room or the chat. I only see my desktop. So I don't know. It's a problem with my computer. Yes, now it's okay. Yes. Okay.
What are the most common mistakes? There is another question. What are the most common mistakes that the that exporters make? Maybe Russian exporters. What should we pay attention to when exporting to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia?
So the answer of this question is not available. So I've asked the registration department and the department related for these type of mistakes, and they say that at the meantime they are not facing problems with the Russian products. But if you would like me to answer in general for any other country, I'm happy to do that. Did you hear me?
Yeah. Okay. Then. Well, first of all, it's great that you don't have any issues with Russian exporters, but yes, we would welcome some general knowledge as well to learn from other people's mistakes, if you have this information.
Okay, so the mistake is related to what, for example?
Documents, maybe.
Okay, so for the documents, we have lots of mistakes from other countries. Either the documents do not comply with the shipment, or we are allowing specific products, say from a fishery establishment. We are allowing these types of fish, and once we receive at the port a different kind from an approved establishment, and the importer says this establishment is approved already, and but the product is not approved. So these type of mistakes occur. The documents, we receive a document for another establishment and another procedure. So how to match with this with each product? It depends on the country. So if the country is approved, we will notify the competent authority. Otherwise, we reach the shipment. So there is a long list of mistakes, and this is the problems with this. Most of the mistakes are related to the registration department. So they have all of variety of kind of mistakes. But for the document and the health certificate, they do not accompany the approved certificate with the shipment. So because the health certificate is agreed and signed with the competent authority, and once it's agreed and signed, this will be published on our website and the I don't know, the competent authority website. So it's available to the exporters. Once we receive some shipments from unapproved countries, we have a different certificate, different type of certificate with the shipment itself. So this kind of mistakes occur at this time.
I am veterinarian. I start work in Saudi food and drug authority before 12 years ago. Now I am licensing and registration expert in operation sector. Hello?
Yes, the translation is simultaneous, so you don't need to wait for the translator. Could you please just go ahead with your presentation? Don't stop.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. First, I will show the main purpose of the Saudi Food Drug Authority establishment. Main is to regulate offers,
Просим слайды говорить.
regulate and oversees and control food, drug, medical device. Observe the safety, security, and effectiveness of food, drug for human and animal, and also complementary biological chemical substance and cosmetics and pesticide, and also medical device and impact on public health. Now we see our mission and vision, and our vision is to be a leading international science-based regulatory to protect and promote public health. And also our mission is protecting the community through regulation and effective control to ensure the safety of food, drug, medical device, cosmetics, pesticide, and food. This is our mission and our vision. And now, next slide, please. Next, yeah. Now we are licensing the following facilities. If you see medical device and the drug and food and feeder. And we need there is in all these manufacturing, we are registering the manufacturing, and also in the drugs that I specific drug warehouse, drug warehouse. This is in Saudi Arabia for the who is agents of the companies outside, and also we have a scientific office. This is scientific office. This will be we are licensing this scientific office, and also clinical trials. We give them the license for clinical trials if they need to do in Saudi Arabia, and also we have complementary service, another complementary service like CAB designation, and also we have a private labs. We have different and license, and also the net and cancellation office. Also, we have different this license. Next slide. Yeah, all these products we are registered: medical device, drugs, food, cosmetics, pesticide, leather, tobacco, and last one, if there is any product outside this product, we can give him the classification service. If it's include to register, will be removed. And we can classification first. After that, we give him the decision if it's registered. It will be removed to the register or to licensing, because we have registration, and if not registered, we can license the product. Next slide. Yeah, next slide. Yeah. Application and the platform of Saudi Food and Drug Authority. We have customer journey, and we advise all interactive platform lead to the investor to know all SFDA provided service and the procedure. And this is the website. Any customer, he will take around all the SFDA. And also we have Kamani application. Kamani application, will be scanned the barcode of food or drug or cosmetics and medical device to get accurate details about the product, and also product alert such as recall, and also feeding drug alternative, and also personalized awareness. This is will be in Kamani, and also we have in chat, in WhatsApp chat. We have Sarah. It's a robot. It will be chat support customer with a different services from the authority, including medical information, medicines, price, and alternative food safety reporting, and next slide. Yeah, next slide. Yeah, this slide will be explained the industrial and investment support center. We have this center for support investment. First one, supporting a new investor. It will be identify Saudi Food Drug and Authority services, clarify required procedure, following up register requests. Another one, customer journey. It will be we are explained like before. It will take interactive platform leading to the investor to know all Saudi FDA provided services and procedure. And we have e-systemic guiding service, SFDA provided advisor to guide the investor about registration setup and the unified system. And also we have conference call. This is will lead to international number and unified number, also 19999, and business support. Another slide. Yeah. This is the way to contact the FDA about the international business support, CEC, or contact international cooperation department for government ICD to contact local companies, this local partnership, CEO, CEO, and we have, in case any technical issues, please contact to e-departables on Unifil 19999. And also we are found in Instagram and Twitter and Facebook. Next slide. Next slide. Yeah. And this is the industrial investment support center, CEC, and this is the website. And finally, I thank for your listening, and I want to thank also the Federal Service for Veterinary and Phytosanitary surveillance and Russian. Thank you very much.
Большое спасибо за ваш доклад.
Thank you very much for your presentation and for your participation in this workshop. For us, it is too very important to strengthen cooperation between our countries. Colleagues, dear listeners, do you have any questions to the speaker? Well, I don't see any questions at this point. Mikhail, can you please stop sharing the screen? Yes, thank you. Okay, good, good. Thank you very much. Oh, we have a question. Just a second. Oh, it's not a question. It's a request. Oh, not a request. It's a thank you, actually. Thank you very much. Your presentation was concise and clear. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Once again, thank you very much for joining us. And I believe that we can close the workshop now. I would like to thank everyone for their contributions. And we hope that our cooperation continues in the future. Thank you. Ahmed, are there any other closing remarks from your side? Maybe, would you like to say something in conclusion?
Well, I don't want to say something after the end of the workshop, but I've told that I will show them the website. How do they enter to the establishment list? If they are interested, I'm happy to do that. And I also want to recap on the follow-up visit.
Yeah, it's a good idea. It's a good idea. I mean, sharing your screen and showing the website. Yeah, we would be interested.
Yeah, okay.
Will be very useful. And what was the second part? You were saying the follow-up visit?
Yes, the follow-up visit. They have asked that if would you require a follow-up visit to approve an establishment. I've said that if it's the competent authority is approved, there will not be a visit just to approve a specific establishment. We will rely on the competent authority, and there will be a follow-up visit for establishment. And also, I would like to highlight the new procedure regarding the poultry, fishery, and egg products, which require a permit procedure. And this may have a visit for this kind of products. But for the other products, the same procedure that I have explained at the beginning. Yeah. Is that clear?
Okay, yes, yes, thank you.
Понятно, спасибо.
Yes, it is clear. Can we see your screen now, please?
Yes. And can you see it now? Can you see the screen?
Yes, we can see the screen, but we are looking at the desktop.
Yeah, no problem. And now
Okay, it's coming. Yeah, now we're looking at the website.
So this is the main website for the SFDA. You just this is the Arabic version. We have an English version, but it doesn't have much details that they can go through. So you just write SFDA, and it will appear. So and Google, Saudi Food and Drug Authority, and then this is the first slide. This is the English version of the website, and we are working on it to make it to update the information. But I will show how to enter the establishment list on the Arabic version. So at the first line we have food, drug, medical devices, cosmetics, and we have the operation. This is the sector that we work under. So food, drug, medical devices, cosmetics, and operation. Under operation, the second link, it says the list of approved establishment. If you click on that, it will appear the map of the world. So if you just either search for Russia, because it's the amazing dot over here, no other dot close to them, or you could just click it from here. Once you put it will appear the flag of the country, the name of the competent authority approved, and the specific products. So if you just click on this one, it will appear the products, meat, fish, and milk products, and the other products. Say for meat, this type of products. This is for bovine, this is for poultry, and this is for poultry products. If you click on the PDF, it will open the establishment which is approved for beef products. And if you put on this one for poultry. So I will choose another. Say this one. This is for dairy products. And this is the establishment approved for dairy. So you could have access for all the information, even for different countries. If you want to see what are other countries that will have approved establishment, you just click on other country and any other country and just see the establishment that they approve. So this is the main website. That if you have any other questions. Also, one last thing I would like to say, because I've said that the health certificates are published in our website, and the only way that you can find it is the operation, and then you go directly to the Department of Factory Inspection Support, and then last point is the rules, requirements and conditions of food imports to the KSA. You click on the we will have an English version available soon under this title. Once you click on that, it will open to you the rules and conditions to the KSA, starting from the introduction, and so the introduction, the requirements, the conditions, and the procedures of the SFDA. And at the end, you will find 9. It's the Article 9. It's the health certificates. So, yes. So this is the health certificate. You can have all the health certificates approved by the SFDA on this one. So you can, the first one is the beef product, red meat and beef products I just showed you in the presentation. And this is some requirements for a specific product. And then you will go to the poultry certificate and so on. So that's what I was going to show you from the presentation. I hope it was clear. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask either now or send an email at any time, either to our department or to the department that I have showed in the presentation, International Cooperation Department. We will happy to answer all your inquiries in a very clear way.
Огромное спасибо.
Thank you very much. This is wonderful. This is absolutely amazing. I've been taking notes, and I think other people as well. Now we understand where to find the information. You've shared with us absolutely invaluable information. So again, thank you.
I hope it was clear, and thank you for this kind words. Also, I would like to say that we will have the English version of the requirements and conditions just under this one, this title. It will have the English version just under it. At the meantime, until the English version of the website is updated with all the information required. You see, if you click on the English, it doesn't show much, and we are working on this one. But for the Arabic version, it has all this information.
Отлично. Последний вопрос такой для...
Perfect. This is perfect. Okay, one last thing perhaps. What about the market of Saudi Arabia? What are the products that are most interesting, like Russian products, maybe? Which of the Russian agricultural products would be most welcome in the market of Saudi Arabia?
Well, yes, I had this question previously, and this is based on the importer. So we don't interfere with that. Any products that the importer wants to import, and we will look it from the regulation and the authorization part of view. Otherwise, any products could be imported. So the type of interest is based on the importer.
Okay, this is clear. Thank you very much. Thank you. Again, thank you so much for your contribution, and hope to see you again sometime soon. Thank you.
Thank you. You are most welcome, and we are happy to have this opportunity to share our information with you and having your interest to observe our information. And if you have any inquiries or information which is not clear or was not included, we are happy to ask at any time.